Hi guys, Joe here from Belper Town Vlogs. Hope everybody's doing alright with everything that's going on in the world and all that at the moment. Obviously we've got no football, which is why I'm going to be starting to put out more videos like this one. In this video I'm going to be ranking the best to worst grounds in Belper's division, the MPL Division 1 South East. So obviously I've not been to all the grounds I've been to. I've done an count if you include Belper. I've been to 15 out of 20 grounds because we've got a backlog of fixtures, so I've not managed to get to all of them yet, and obviously I missed the Market Drayton fixture. But yeah, but just before I start, make sure you look after yourselves and all that sort of thing. I'll try and put some of these videos out, give you something to do. I know Tom's doing some stuff on Radio Belper Town FM, so listen out for that. I know it can be quite difficult. I'm currently self-isolating at the moment, so I understand. You know, it's a difficult time for everyone, but just pull together, think about the good things, and hopefully we'll get through it and we'll come back stronger at the other end. So without further ado, drop a like if you're new, subscribe, subscribe if you're new, and let's get into it. So coming in at number 20, I'm going to put Market Drayton. As I say in the introduction, I've not actually been there, and I've asked around for feedback on this one, but apparently, for the feedback I got, apparently it's not the best experience of a ground to go to. Apparently the pitch is fine and stuff like that, but just the experience of the clubhouse and the food and drink and all that sort of stuff apparently isn't the best. I mean, Market Drayton, they are a club struggling down the bottom, so it would make sense that ground wouldn't be as high up the league as possible. I'm sure it's still an alright ground, but someone has to be last on this list, and obviously it is just my opinion, but that's where I'm going to put them. Yeah, so 19th, I'm going to go for where I was last weekend, which was Newcastle Town away. Simple reason, you're just so far from the pitch. I like the idea, it's a unique design, it's a memorable ground, don't get me wrong, but I just don't like being so far away from the pitch, because I've said before, you know, what I like about non-league football is being really close to the pitch. You can have a chat with the goalkeeper, all that sort of stuff. You can't really do that in Newcastle. I think when he made a decent save, I was having to shout at him to get his attention, to say well done for the save. And as well from that, I think the clubhouse, it's a bit dark and damp, the toilets aren't very nice. And yeah, so overall it's not the best ground. It's all right, but you're just so far away from the pitch. And yeah, for that reason, 19th. So 18th, I'm gonna go for Carlton Town. It's quite a small ground. They don't get big crowds. I think they are dwarfed by the other Nottingham sides, and that does suffer when it comes to their attendances. So for that reason, it goes down a bit. I think also it's just not the nicest area of Nottingham. I mean, the people within the club are really friendly and stuff like that. People like Brian and stuff like that I do get on with, but it's not when you walk in from the train station to the ground, it's quite hostile. The ground itself, it's not brilliant. It's right next to a sewage work, which doesn't really help, and for that reason, it's not the most pleasant. It's a good away day because it's dead easy for us to get to, but it's not the most pleasant when you're actually there. So 18th for Carlton. So the 17th, I'm going to put Loughborough Dynamo. I don't think there's anything wrong with this ground at all. It's just all right, and that's probably why it's 17th for me, because there's nothing really memorable about it. A lot of grounds, you'll go to them and think, oh yeah, there's that's the ground where this is, and that's the ground where that is. But you can't really do that with Loughborough. There's not that one stand behind the goal, and that's the one little hut thing around on the side. But there's just not much. No features, there's no creativity in the ground, it's just a bit dull really. And it's hard to, it's just hard to, put a bit of excitement into it. It's not in a way that I look forward to, because the ground's a bit the same. I mean, it's fine, it's perfectly fine, the pitch is okay, people are alright and that, but it's just, there's nothing different about it, so that's probably why I put 17th. So 16th, I'm going to go for Lincoln United. I think, again, it's an okay ground, alright to get to from Belper, but I just don't like the main reason it's low down is I don't like the fencing behind the goal at the clubhouse end. It's just, you can't go behind the goal. And when I was there, I've been there twice now, but when I was there earlier in the season, for Charlie Dawes' missed penalty, it was really hard to film it because of the fence and that. So from my point of view, what I have to do at the games, it's not brilliant. It's not great to watch it. Either go down the other end, it's all right, but I think that's the main reason for me, and so that's why I'm putting it 16th. So 15th, I'm going to put another ground I've not been to yet, Glossop North End. We were meant to go there the weekend after Notts County, I think, but it was flooded, so we couldn't go. But I mean, just from looking at it on Google and stuff like that, it looks like just your typical northern ground, really. Just very open, big pitch. Pitch is a little bit bobbly, and doesn't look like there's massive things that make it really nice. So I think I've got to put it 15th. Hopefully I'm not doing them a disservice, and yeah, that's the best thing I can do because I've not been there. So 14th, that's a ground that I have been to recently, is Spalding United at 14th place. I think it's quite low down just because of the it's just quite a very open ground. There's only one small stand, and on a cold day it is very cold and windy. We went, it was all right, but and you are quite far from the pitch as well, which isn't ideal. But on the plus side, the clubhouse is all right. It's a nice town, and apparently they do nice burgers. I've not had them, but apparently they're nice, so I'll put that 14th. When at 13th, I'm going to go for Sutton Coalfield. It's again, it's another ground that we've not got a chance to go to yet. That seems to be the fixture that's been postponed and rearranged so many times, and now it looks like we're probably never going to play it. So I think it's got that one stand at the halfway line. It's an AstroTurf pitch, which some people don't like. It does give it something different, and it'll prevent the amount of rain-affected games. So I think that's a good thing for them, and it's just something different. It's a bit different. It seems all right as a ground, so put it in 13th. Yeah, so number 12, I'm going to put Chasetown. I think Chasetown's another one that I've not been to yet because it clashed with our cut run. I think was it Witton? No, was it Witton away? I think it was, where we were supposed to be playing Chasetown, and yeah, we've not got round to playing the rearranged fixture yet. Yeah, similar deal to Sutton Coalfield. Really, it looks alright. It looks a little bit nicer than Sutton Coalfield, just from what I've seen on the internet, and it looks a bit more well developed. And again, obviously, I don't know. I've not been there, so I can't give a really big judgment on it. So I think I'm going to put it in a solid 12th. So number 11 is a ground that I have been to, and it is Kidsgrove Athletic. I think I've put it surprisingly high up, I think, because I think a lot of people I've spoken to putting it further down, but I don't actually mind it. When you get into the ground, I think the town itself isn't the best, shall we say. Similar to Carlton, really. It's quite I don't feel massively comfortable in the town itself, but when you get into the ground, I think it's okay. I think the clubhouse is nice. I like the Phoenix Knights reference with the Phoenix Club. I quite like that. It's a nice touch. And when you get into the ground, I think they got all the sport on and the beer in the clubhouse and all that sort of stuff. So it's all right as a ground. I think it's an okay atmosphere. When we went, their fans did try to make a bit of noise, which was good to see. And you get behind both sides of the goal. The pitch was on a slope, which I think holds it back a little bit. But I think 11th for Kidsgrove. I think it's okay. So now into the top half at number 10, I'm going to put Cleethorpes. It's an alright ground. It's quite open. It's quite far from Belper, so it's a tough one to get to. But it's an alright ground once again. The clubhouse is nice. They do have BT on it, so you can go and watch the lunchtime game before Cleethorpes play Belper or whoever they're playing. And I quite like that side of it. You can get behind the goal at both sides. There is cover. But it's very wind affected there, and yeah, it's all right there. I think they're not overly friendly to us, but why would you be? Because we're the away side, but they're not overly hostile or anything like that. So I think just a solid halfway mark in 10th place for me. So coming in at number 9, I'm going to put Sheffield Club. I think the world's first football club. They claim the home of football, but I think they have moved ground since their original days. So you can't really call it the home of football, but it's an okay ground. Still does have that, that character in it with the association of the world's first football club. You can get behind the goal at both sides. It's not too far from us. It's just an alright ground, really, to be fair. It's not amazing. They have the little scoreboard thing in the far corner, which is nice, but it's not brilliant. You can't get all the way around the ground and all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to put it in 9th. So in number 8, I'm going to go for Wisbech Town. I think Wisbech is still quite a same old type of ground. The stands are identical and there's not much going on when you look at it from a distance, but actually when you get into it, it's actually quite nice. It's one of my favourite away days. The corrugated iron does make a good atmosphere. You can bang on it and stuff like that, and that's always fun. And the clubhouse is open, it's spacious, it's light, and that's quite nice as well. So we do have Mark Allington, who's at Wisbech, who's got the connections with Belper, who always makes us feel welcome. But it's a lovely ground. It's a lovely away day, and I'm going to put it in 8th. So coming in at number 7, I'm going to put Worksop Town. I think Worksop's ground is decent. It's quite, it's quite old, but it's got a good bit of character to it. I like the soundtrack we had at Worksop when we were there back in September was excellent. I like the walk-on song to Eye the Tiger. I think that's quite a nice touch. And the main reason I put them so high up really is they get good attendances, and their fans don't half make a noise. Even when we were 2-0 up, they were still, making a good noise, and that was fantastic because that was fantastic to see. So I've got a lot of respect for that. Ground was alright, but I think the fans have carried them up to 7th place for me. So coming in at 6th, I'm going to go for Frickley Athletic. I think it's not my favourite away ground. It is quite hostile when you go there. You're not made to feel particularly welcome. It's quite a difficult place to play at, and I think the team we've got has really helped us when we got our wins there. But I do like the old, it's quite old, traditional, that big stand. It does seem to have a bit of character. You can tell that the emotion and all that sort of stuff of the area is still there, and I like all the flags they hang up as well. I quite like that, and they have tried to do some stuff to it. They've done the dressing rooms up. I went into them last year to interview Isaac Senso, and they're all right. The dressing rooms are a bit out of place with the rest of the ground, which means I probably can't put it any higher, and the pitch is just okay. So, but I do like the character of the ground does resonate with me. While it's not my favourite ground to go to, I do quite like it. So 6th place, Frickley. So in 5th place, going to put Leek Town. Again, a ground not been to yet. I don't think we will this season, but they're top of the league. The ground's alright. It looks well built. Pitch looks okay. Looks like they get good attendances. I mean, they would being top of the league, but yeah, it just looks like a well built ground, solid. Get behind the goal. Get behind the goal both sides. Pitch looks decent, and yeah, I'm going to put it 5th. In 4th place, I'm going to put Stamford. Stamford went to the back end of last season, and it's a game that we were meant to play them on the day we played Notts County this year. So it's a nice ground. It's got very nice facilities. The clubhouse is really nice. Obviously, it's quite an affluent area, and they've got a lot of money pumped into it. The pitch is also good. They've got a big stand behind the goal. I like the idea. I like the fact they play their half-time Stamford radio station at half-time. I quite like that. It's something different you don't get at every ground. And like the car park, and all that sort of stuff. I know it's only small things, but it is a nice place to go on an away day. Difficult to get to from Belper, but it's a nice place to go to. But having said that, they have had quite a lot of money and investment, and it's quite a well-off area, so you kind of expect it really. But it is still a nice ground, so I'm going to put it in 4th. So 3rd place, I'm going to put our local rivals, Ilkeston. It's a unique ground, the clock tower end. It does resonate with me. I do quite like it. I think they do have big attendance as well. They do try and create a bit of an atmosphere. It is quite hostile. I don't know whether that was just because Belper are the local rivals or whether it's like that with every team. But it is like you do know you're in a game there, and it is good because I like it when the home fans are trying to create an atmosphere, because it gives the away fans something to do, something to counter against. And when we went there in August, it was one of the best atmospheres I think this season. So yeah, I do quite like that. I think it's a ground that I don't mind going to. I get good attendances, it's a well supported club, and yeah, I'm gonna put it 3rd. So now 2nd, I'm gonna put Stocksbridge Park Steels. While their attendances aren't brilliant, I do like the ground. I think the stand, the Jamie Vardy stand with the seats they got from Hillsborough, the old-fashioned blue and yellow seats. I think that's a nice touch. It's something different from other grounds. The brick building of the clubhouse is very nice. So it looks nice especially when you're down the far end and you look back at it. It does look a nice setting. The only problem I'd say I have with Stocksbridge is like when you go down the other end at the clubhouse and you're quite far away from the goal. But apart from that, I think it's a really good ground. It's one of the ones I couldn't make it to the Stocksbridge this season, but I think it was when I went last season. It was a nice ground. I also like the cage when the players are walking out as well. I like the cage sort of material. It makes it seem quite like it's in the like Eastern European really hostile atmosphere, when it's reality is only like Stocksbridge in front of 150 people. But it's a lovely ground, and that's why I'm gonna put it. So now, top of the league, I think, of grounds, I think you've probably figured it out by now, and you may be saying, well, this is obvious, Joe. You're a Belper fan. You're obviously going to put Belper first. But I've got my reasons for it. I think it's just you got the view of the church and the mill, and it's down by the river and all that sort of stuff. Clubhouse is it's nice compared to some of the ones I've been to. The pitch is okay, and just say, well, you may say, well, it's just you, but there is a lot of evidence for it. Belper has made it onto the front cover of The Game by Stuart Roy Clark, which is all about football. It's got Belper's ground blazoned over the front cover, and Belper also came second in the best non-league grounds in England, so I think beating teams like Stamford in our division. So I think there is a bit of evidence to suggest that we are a decent ground. I think the fact we're the second best ground in non-league football, only behind South Shields, means by definition we have to be top of the league table of grounds for Belper's league. So that's just my opinion. Feel free to disagree with me, and but yeah, that's where I'm going to put Belper. I'm going to put us top. So yeah, so that's it. They are my best to worst, or worst to best grounds in Belper's league, the MPL Division 1 South East. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Where would you put your team's ground? Have I made a mistake with your team? Have I put them too high or too low? Let me know. Just get a dialogue going in the comments section, because obviously we don't have any football today, so it gives you something to do. Thanks so much for watching. Drop a like if you enjoy it. Subscribe if you're new. I'm going to be try and put out a few more of these videos, so let me know if you've got any ideas. And stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you next time.